everybody. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. So let's get ready to jump into it, man. Let me bring my man in, one of New York City's best and finest talent. The comedian is in the building. What's up, T? How you doing, sir?
You see it. You see it. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. You see it, B. You see what it is, man. Come on, B. You see what it is. Huh?
That's you custom made that?
Nah, I ordered this joint. B. It's some NFL joint here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Got the Super Bowl on the arm and everything, huh?
Well, I definitely don't like it. I feel you. My man, Mike Sean, another one of New York's finest, is also in the building. Mike, what's up, man? How you doing today?
Yo, Talent got patches. He looks like a superhero. He's an Avenger for the Jets.
Come on, B. Come on.
Dope,
you see what it is?
I ain't gonna lie.
It's
fire. It's a fire jersey. Real quick, just want to tell my credit card who just hit me with a courtesy reminder. I want to remind them I didn't forget. I didn't forget at all. They're going hard. But that jet jersey is dope. That sweatshirt.
I'm giving you your ups like the jet jersey up. The only thing you messed up with it was put the Super Bowl patch on it, bro. But I feel you.
No, that's wishful thinking. That you got to put it in the universe. You got to put it in you. You got to manifest. You do got to.
And that's our Super Bowl. That's the one we got right there. See what I'm saying?
That's a 69 one, right?
Yeah, that's the 69 joint.
68, 69.
Okay, so it's official. It's official. Yeah, that's official. Yeah, you might be. The crazy thing is you might be able to put a real one up, a new updated one.
Let me tell you, Frank. Remember what I told y'all. If we get the bye, we got the Super Bowl. The bye is very key. If we get the bye, remember I told you that.
Honestly, T, with the Jets defense, I don't even think you gotta be worried about the bye. Honestly, you know what I mean? Jets,
no, just say bye. Just say bye to his prediction. They're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not going.
The Jets got one of the best defenses in the league. But yeah, you ain't lying about that one, Mike. Yo, let's get ready to get the show started, man. So, T, we talked about something real fast yesterday before we got off the air and everything else. And this morning, the news looks like it's about to become official real soon. Aaron Judge is about to make his official decision on where he's going to go for the upcoming season. I want to ask you, man, you're a New York fan, you know, everything New York. Where do you think he's going to lean? And I'm going to throw this out there. I personally think he's going to lean towards the Giants, man. I just got a feeling he's going to lean to the Giants. Go ahead.
I have not wavered. I said it from day one. I said it towards the end of the season. I said it postseason during the World Series. All this talk's been going on for months. I think somehow, some way, my Yankees are going to be in there and ready to that bidding. Whatever was bidding the highest, they're going to match that. He's going to stay here.
Okay, you think he's going to stay? All right, Mike. The news came out this morning officially that he has alerted his agents and everything else to officially alert Major League Baseball that he is close to making his decision. Where do you think Aaron Judge is going to land at, Mike?
I'm a New Yorker, so anything. If you ask me where I want to be at, I'd be like, I want to be in New York. A lot of people ain't like that. And I don't think the attraction of New York works on Aaron Judge like that. And if he can make the equivalent amount of money in San Francisco, a laid back situation where he can play over there with an organization that knows how to build teams from the ground up to win championships, which the Yankees haven't done in a long, long, long time. Unfortunately, I think Aaron Judge is going to wind up with the Giants.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think too. I think he's a West Coast dude. I think he likes the West Coast more than the East Coast. I think he's just leaning towards going back to the West Coast. That's just the feeling I got. T, the other news that saw this morning is that Tiger Woods officially had put out the news that he's not going to play professionally for a little while because he doesn't feel his game is back to where it is, and I think the injuries bothering him a lot and everything else. My question to you, T, is you think Tiger Woods not officially playing pro for a little while is going to affect the minority community? You think you think people really going to care because he's not playing professional, or what's your thoughts on Tiger Woods?
Nah, nobody cares in the hood. You know, we don't care. As a matter of fact, I got $10. He cut a rap album this summer. Nobody cares. Like Tiger Woods is at that point in his career where, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. When you can get to a point where people consider you not having anything left to prove. Mm-hmm. That is the end and epitome of each one of our legacies. I don't care what you want to do in life. You're a comedian, you're a golfer, professional basketball, football. It don't matter. at the end of the day, we all want to achieve and arrive at that place where our peers and everybody else around us, fan base, everything, look at us and go, that guy has nothing else to prove to me.
Right.
That's Tiger Woods. That's where he is in life. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. We get a little hype. I'm going to come back and I'm into the map. Oh, cool. That'd be nice to see. Let's see how you do. But I don't think anybody out here is waiting for Tiger to prove anything else to him.
Right. That's a great point, man. I think he cemented his legacy already. Mike, you think what's your thoughts on Tiger Woods saying he's not playing professional?
I feel it doesn't move me either way. I think talent explained it like as best as you can explain it. Listen, Tiger Woods introduced me to golf. Tiger Woods made me.
Me too.
He taught me what a birdie was, what an eagle was, what a double bogey was. He literally had me watching golf and playing golf video games. He did his job. He did everything he had to do. The person I feel sorry for is Tiger. In this case, I know he's a billionaire, but his whole identity is on that golf course.
Right.
There are certain athletes that while they're playing, they're Draymond Green. His whole identity is not in basketball. He has already formulated a persona outside of basketball. Tiger hasn't been able to do that because Tiger has been so super focused. All we know is that Tiger cheated on his wife and got hit by a golf club, and that's all we know outside.
And had a car accident.
Tiger now has to adjust of not being known as a golfer. What's he going to do next? And that's but he's a billionaire, so he's going to figure it out. He'll probably be a golf analyst. He'll probably be great at it, but that's the only thing. I feel bad. He's going to have to reinvent himself.
He's bored. He might not even be a golf analyst. He might just travel the world.
I'm telling you, them waitresses at Cracker Barrel better watch out because
I'm trying to tell you.
He's bored. You better watch out.
Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, bro, is the other thing I want to talk about is
First of all, Frank, hold up. How are we gonna let that go? All the restaurants that got some hot waitresses, there's none at the Cracker Barrel.
But that's right up. But that's right up Tiger Woods' alley, the Cracker Barrel. That's right up. That's right up. That's in his lane. That's in his lane.
I was trying to get past that because I knew you was gonna fall.
Because he forced me to memorize the last 3 times I was in the Cracker Barrel. I'm like, I wasn't hitting none of them.
Not only that, the innuendos that Mike dropped with Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, he's crazy as hell. Last Cracker Barrel I was at, the cook was the cutest guy.
I was like, yeah, that was a good one, Mike. Cracker back.
Mike ain't shit.
We all know Mike. The Tiger don't like to say that he's black, so going to Cracker Barrel was kind of.
Tiger ain't knocking off no waitress at a soul food spot. You already know.
Yeah, that's why I laugh.
Yeah, you already know. Ain't no greens going on.
Every time he tries to go to a soul food spot, he crashes his car. He was on his way to the Waffle House when that happened.
The show you're watching is called Box Seats, where we talk about sports with comedians, and as you can tell, we tie in the funny with it. All right, so Chief, last night, man, and this morning, Golden State ended up playing. Charles Barkley had a issue, a conversation with Bleacher Report. He tripled down. Bleacher Report gave him a chance to roll back some of the comments he was making against Klay Thompson. He went the other way. He said, I went back and looked at what I said. And Klay was the best two-way player in basketball for a long time. And what I said was, he's still a good player. He's never going to be that guy again for 3 reasons: age, his Achilles, and his ACL. And I still feel that way. That's what he said, before. He said he tripled down on that, saying Klay Thompson's still not the best, what he was. You know what I mean? So people are offended that he keeps saying that. He doesn't reel back, what he said. And honestly, statistically, he hasn't lied yet. You know what I mean? Like, Klay has not been the player that he was before his injury yet. He's still, so what he's saying is not out of bounds yet, but a lot of people are offended. What you think about Charles Barkley saying these issues that he has with Klay Thompson? Do you think he's spot on? What's your thoughts about this, T?
Yeah. I'm more interested in seeing me backpedal about Kyrie. That's the questions I want them to smack the mic in front of him on. This right here is a no-brainer. He's not saying anything genius. We all see it. We all watching it. He's not yet the player. And I say yet because these injuries sometimes take longer to fully go away and you to get to, because you're not just dealing with the physical repair, you're dealing with the mental repair as well. So it takes a long time before you completely let it go out of your brain and start playing reckless and don't think about it, indecisive. You just do. When you think before you do too much in basketball, it messes you up. That half a second is the change in the defense that can happen that quick if you thought about it. That's why that's why the pump fake was created. It was actually an accidental move that became a strategic move. But he's not lying. I watched the game last night, and that's the first thing that stood out at the end of that game. I watched Golden State play a hell of a game to fight back, to get into this game and make you watch the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game like you don't know who's going to win. And only for them to get in position to win at the last second, and they called the play. And
no, the tie. It was the tie. Klay Thompson took the three.
Well, depending on what shot you took. No, they wasn't down 3.
Yeah, when Klay took that jump at the end of the game, they were down 3.
No, the last shot, they could have won. They probably could have tied or won. Either way, the play was called for him.
Right.
And I thought that was a mistake because to me, in that run, we watch Poole, we watch Steph, we watch certain players get a little hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was like to throw the team off defensive wise, like everybody think it's going in, let's go here. But he had the shot, bro. And he's not the Klay that we know. The Klay we knew was water, was ice water.
Yeah,
this Klay is like, how you leave the top off your tee?
Top off your teeth.
Top off.
3 minutes. It's like it's not a weird temperature. He's not that guy no more.
It's
like
warm.
His temperature is totally different than that ice cold Klay we know. Sorry, Barkley is right on this.
All right, okay, Mike, Sean, what's your take on Charles Barkley ripping Klay Thompson again? Are you take any umbrage with this?
That was Barkley, like really, like duh. He's not the same person he was 5 years ago. Of course he's not. He's had injuries. Look, like Muhammad Ali had a classic press conference where Howard Cosell said before the George Foreman fight, Howard Cosell said, people are saying you're not the man you were 5 years ago. And Ali looked at him and said, your wife said you're not the man you were 5 years ago. That's what Ali said to him. Of course, he's not the same player he was 5 years ago. But I'll tell you what, Charles Barkley, you got to always peep. Charles Barkley always says something wrong in a statement. He was not the best two-way player in basketball because he was never better than Kawhi Leonard as a two-way player in basketball.
True.
He wasn't better than Kawhi, but the man was amazing. The dude's been through injuries. It's happening. When you make him work on defense, of course it affects him. But he's still, when he gets hot, he's still worth his weight on that starting lineup. So he's killing Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson is still capable. He's still capable of giving you a 30-point game, a 40-point game. But yes, of course, he went through a real bad injury. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be the same. But he's still on that cusp of could be an all-star on some nights.
Yeah, I agree with that. But speaking of the game, T, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think Dallas Mavericks have arrived? Because Dallas Mavericks lost Brunson, right, obviously to New York and everything else. The Mavericks had a huge lead. They ended up giving it up. And people, my boys and everything else, we had the conversation last night. Some people are like, man, I don't care how good Dallas gets and everything else. They still ain't getting to the Western Conference Finals this year because they got rid of Brunson. I was like, I kind of agree with you. I don't think they're going to get as far because they got rid of Brunson, And that's what I came away with looking at the Dallas Mavericks game last night, even though they played well. What's your thoughts about looking at Dallas defeating Golden State? Do you think that was just a mirage? How you think about Dallas Mavericks right now, T? How you feeling about them?
Well, I think that they got to watch their elbows, first of all. That was a hell of an elbow.
Do you think he should have got kicked out for that talent?
I don't think it was ejectable, no.
Okay.
I think it was just like it's one of those basketball elbows, and when you connect, it's a flagrant. But
you got it wasn't. Tell everybody what elbow you're talking about, because nobody knows what you're talking about.
Well, you watch the game, you see my man. What's my man's name from? Used to be on the Brooklyn Nets.
Dinwiddie.
So Dinwiddie is making a move with the ball. And Jordan Poole, I'm surprised nobody don't know what I'm talking about because the biggest running joke is Jordan Poole. He got an elbow to the face, knocked him down, and who comes to the rescue? But Draymond Green, the other guy that knocked you out earlier. So that was the running NBA joke in the whole damn night. But yeah, so after that foul, it was a foul that's a flagrant foul. but it wasn't malicious to the point where he tried to take his head off. You got to lead the game. It wasn't like that. So I didn't agree with the ejection. But I tell you one thing, Dallas is missing a lot when we're missing Brunson. But we knew that. I think we all knew that. That was the whole point of us pursuing him, to plug our hole. You guys got a couple of extra guards and other guards you're going to get in the trade because you think you got more power, which they got a lot of power over there. But he is a key piece. So once you give up a key piece, you're supposed to see the difference. Otherwise, he wasn't that, intricate to your team.
Right. Y'all are watching the show called Box Seats. We appreciate y'all support. We appreciate y'all sharing the show on your page and everything else. I really, really, really appreciate the support. Shout out to all the people who are watching and commenting on the show. Please keep your comments coming. Mike, talk to me, man. Do you think that Dallas Mavericks look better, the same, or worse than they did last year? And can they get as deep as in the playoffs?
They're lacking when your star has to score a 41, 12, and 12
all the time.
And you come down to a 3-point shot that can tie and go to overtime. That's a lot. Like, I just want to say for Doncic is the most unstoppable offensive player in the Western Conference because he can bully you, he can shoot, he can dribble, and he can pass.
And leads the league in 5 triple-doubles too this season. I'm sorry.
And the Dallas Mavericks are going to have to fill that void. Now, they do have the All-Star break. They still have a chance to pick somebody up. They picked up Kemba Walker. We all discussed that yesterday. We don't think that's a big addition if the injuries have still piled up. I don't think the injuries got any better. But the reason why Jalen Brunson was so important with them is because Jalen Brunson knew how to play the point guard when he was supposed to play the point guard and then defer to Doncic when he had to defer to Doncic. And he could play both situations. If you have a pure point guard and you bring him in there, that's why Jalen Brunson was so important. A pure point guard needs to play the point. He doesn't know how to play off the ball most of the time if you get a pure point guard. If you get a shooting guard, well, he fits in, but he doesn't take up the point guard situation when Doncic is off the court. So they lost a lot, and Mark Cuban has to answer for that. And I don't know who they can pick up at All-Star break, but they better pick somebody up.
You made a great point because last year when they started the season, Luka was out of shape. This year, it would have been amazing if they had kept Brunson because Brunson could bring the ball up, and Luka came in camp in shape because he had been playing overseas, with the overseas situation that was going on. It would have been perfect for them, but it didn't happen. So anyway, speaking of injuries, Karl Anthony Towns had an injury. It seemed like it was going to be major. They just said recently that it's not as major. But Minnesota Timberwolves are not playing nowhere near the way they should be, especially with they got Rudy Gobert and tied in right now. Minnesota Timberwolves are 10-11. They 10-11. People were thinking they were going to be top 3 in the league overall and top 3 definitely in the Western Conference. They're not. You know what I mean? They're 10-11 right now. And now Karl Anthony Towns got injured, and they're saying he could be out for 2 to 3, maybe even 4 weeks with this injury. What's your take on Karl Anthony Towns' injury and the Minnesota Timberwolves right now? Are you surprised? Just tell me your thoughts on this whole situation, bro.
Not really. I mean, I think people have these spurts, man, when they look really good. But I think it's a difference in a spurt and the consistency that, can sustain over a long period of time. 10-11. You're very mediocre right now. You're very one game under 500. You're very Knicks. You're New York Knicks, 10-11. Same exact record. So it's like you're not at the top of your crop. I think last year, to go back to what my point is, they had this spurt time. They had a real good spurt time that we were like, oh, there's something there. And now they're going back to the Timberwolves as we know them to be. I think that, we can look for them to squeak into the 7th, 8th position. That's a good year for them to me.
So you're not surprised that them getting Rudy Gobert and there being it's not a major disappointment to you at all? Because to me,
no, because I told you that's when the game changed. When y'all thought it was a game changer for a trade, and he went there. I was one of the people on the show constantly saying that he's not a game changer to me. He's a greater piece to add if you could figure out how to use him, but he's not a game changer. Even when Fig was on the show, Fig kept mentioning, you know what? Maybe it's going to be better there because they didn't call any plays for him. Remember, Fig would say that all the time. He's real good, but they don't call any plays. So he's going to go over there. They're going to call plays. You're going to see how good. Let me tell you something. At his position, what he's really good at, that's not the guy you call plays for. He scrapes all that up off the board, blocks and rebounds and defensive moves, and he get his that way. He's not the game changer that a lot of people think he is. Is he good? Very good. Is he a game changer? No. Game changers can come in a game and change the game at will. Those are game changers.
Okay.
He's not a game changer.
All right. I don't know if I 100% agree with T on that one. Mike, to me, Rudy Gobert is one of the best. Not just that T's wrong, but Rudy Gobert statistically has been one of the best defensive players in the league for years. He comes over to Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota ends up being 10-11. Karl-Anthony Towns now gets injured during this and everything else. What's your take on the injury and how the outlook looks to Minnesota? Him going out, you think it's going to help them mesh better now because now they're forced to deal with Rudy Gobert or whatever? What's your take?
Who gets a 7-footer when you already have a 7-footer? Like, I don't understand the fit. What they do now with Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert is they clog the middle offensively. So D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards you're in the way. And I honestly think they're better off with one of them off the court at a time. I don't see them playing together. To me, Karl-Anthony Towns, as much as he can hit a 3-pointer, he still stays in the, defensively, everybody's like, they're going to shut everything down defensively. Not if I bring Rudy Gobert out and put him on a pick and roll with somebody. So I don't understand the fit. I don't think Gobert actually fit with the Timberwolves. And I'll tell you the main problem is the Timberwolves came into the season feeling themselves 1,000%. The Timberwolves went to the second round of the playoffs, and you should have gave them the championship rings because that's how they felt about their season. And they came here cocky as hell thinking that we're just going to walk into the season and we're going to run the same thing we ran. That doesn't happen. Y'all ain't built like that. Y'all went to your first, second round in how many years? Right. So, and I don't think they have the coach because they last year were one of the most undisciplined teams in the league. They did some of the dumbest nonsense you could ever see to blow a game. And that coach sat there and they made a run. But I swear they're going to have to change that coach. And I don't think this Rudy Gobert thing is a good fit for them. I don't think it's going to work out. And I don't think they understand that Anthony Edwards is a star of that team. Do you think,
Mike, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think Pat Beverly leaving them has something to do with this too? Do you think that because, he helped them with a lot in little small stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that people don't report statistically.
I mean, he's going to believe that. I don't believe it. But it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue the fact that he's not there. So if somebody were to make that point, there's really no way I can fight back on that because the proof is he's not there. They're losing. They got Rudy Gobert, and they don't have somebody running the show. So I really can't debate that. I can't say you're wrong about that.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing is with players who come to teams, the problem is if you lose one player and the team looks drastically different, sometimes you got to say, damn, that player might have been the glue to stick everything together. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. So like with the Lakers and losing Rondo, I think Lakers losing Rondo is a big thing, but people don't pay attention to that. But again, statistically, it's the same thing with Pat Beverly with this. Now, let me ask you about Miami Heat, bro. Miami Heat is not playing up to par either. Miami Heat, they're not looking good at all either. Miami Heat looks like they're 10-11 too, bro. So Miami Heat looks like they are way down. And the NBA ESPN rankings, they came in at 15th. You know what I mean? And ESPN has been dropping them every single week. And now ESPN put out an article this morning saying that guess what? It looks like since they won 3 in a row, they might have got their juju together, their mojo together. T, what you think about Miami Heat now? And can the Miami Heat turn things around? Will they make a trade? What will they do to start to climb back in this conversation of being like they were last year? They were top 3 in the East last year.
Yeah, just give them that after the holidays. You got to give Miami a little break. They come fresh off a hurricane season out there. So when all your home games are in floods right now, you just got to give them a break. And this is the month things start to clear out in Miami. I just think they're off to a slow start. When you see a good team do what Miami's doing so fast in a turnaround instance of time, it makes me think it's something in the locker room.
Right.
It makes me think there's something in the locker room. And here's the funny thing about locker rooms. Is a dead giveaway when it's something in the locker room, it's obviously with starters.
Yep.
So you eliminate 7 to 9 players, you know it ain't them. And you turn to these 5 guys or maybe 6 and go, what's going on, guys? Something's going on in there because have you watched the Miami game lately? It's one thing to just be losing. It's another thing to see a team that was such a cohesive unit just coming off last season, and they just don't look like they look like they just met each other or don't like each other at all. Like there's no cohesiveness between the unit. So it's something going on with your first 5 or 6 players in that locker room, and I put it on the coach, man. You got to put your foot down, figure it out. If you got to clean out, you know how this goes, Mike. Sometimes you got to clean the locker room out of people. Sometimes you got to add new things. You can't go off what we all learned. We can't just go off of last year and think that's going to be automatic. But I think it's a locker room thing, to be honest with you.
Okay, you think it's a locker room thing?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I can't dispute what T said. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. They basically got the same roster. They lost one player. The guy used to come off the bench. Forgot the white guy's name. One of the 3-pointers. They lost him in the offseason. Again, you lose one player. Team looks different. Miami Heat thoughts, Mike? What's your take?
I didn't even think about the what's going on in the locker room. I didn't think about that, but I do think they brought Kyle Lowry over here, and he's 36, and he doesn't look like in his prime that he went to the gym a lot after the game. Like he doesn't look like. No, what I'm saying is like a year 36 in Kyle Lowry years is like dog years. He's aged fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not LeBron. He's not these guys who's like a workout gym and I eat. We know he doesn't eat right. We know he doesn't. Like we know. Like he's the one athlete that I can hang out with because I know we're going to eat a bunch of greasy food and everything like that. So Duncan Robinson, I think, got a little overhyped.
Yeah.
I think he's coming back to Tyler Hero. I like. But if you look at their starting lineup, who are you scared of? Like Bam, you're scared of Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler's going to ball.
And that's it.
But Bam plays when he wants to play. Bam can disappear at any moment. He'll disappear and has disappeared in a playoff series. Like, so this is a very dangerous season for the Heat because this could either they could grind it out and turn it around and be a 6th or 7th or maybe 5th seed, or this could be the time when Pat Riley has to put that president's hat on and say who we got to move and who we gonna get, and is that Joel Embiid enough to snag him from the Sixers? Will that be enough? And will Joel Embiid look at the team and be like, why would I lead the Sixers? I think I'm going to the same situation. Well, I have to carry this team. I don't know. We'll have to wait till the All-Star, a little bit after the All-Star break to have a definite answer.
My man, the business bullies joined the show. Dave, how you doing, sir?
Absolutely awesome, Frank. How are you?
I'm all right. So we talk about the Miami Heat right now. We talk about the NBA. The Miami Heat's 10-11. I'm bringing them up for a purpose, which I will reveal in a second. But what's your thoughts on the Miami Heat? Because they're 10-11. ESPN ranked them. I think the last time I looked at it, they were 15th. They're climbing. They just won 3 in a row. But people are still like, yeah, they still don't have it together. What's your thoughts on the Miami Heat right now?
Can we just have the honest conversation none of us are willing to have?
Good.
This is not Pat Riley of my teenage years. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Also, you won 3 games in a row. Where's Uncle Rodney when you need? I'm gonna need everybody to slow down. Listen, the Miami Heat are so mediocre right now. Ben Simmons is like, hey, maybe I should take my talents to South Beach. Like, can we just talk about the fact that everybody understands that this team might as well just go ahead and say, you know what, the best thing we can do right now is try to get a good lottery pick for next year. Because I don't think you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see anything worth talking about. And we can wait till after All-Star, but I'm calling it right here. And let's face it, I have one of the best records on this show. Miami's not going to do anything worth talking about. Playoffs.
Yeah. Well, the Miami Heat could turn around. Still kind of early. Reason why I brought them up, P, is because they're playing the Boston Celtics tonight. So before we analyze that game, what's your thoughts on the Boston Celtics right now? They're the best. They're the best team in the league. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They got the highest overall field goal percentage right now. And the Celtics and Miami Heat square off tonight in a pretty big game in the NBA. So tell me what your thoughts on the Boston Celtics right now, P.
Well, they're all those things that you just said, because they also started the season the most embarrassing team in the league. All it takes is to come off the biggest embarrassment to come out with a chip on your shoulder and say, we going to scrape the floor with everybody. How dare we lose? They beat our ass last year. I had money on myself. My girl didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. I'm taking it out on these teams at the gate. And of course they're good. But just like any other sport, later in the season, when that wear and tear kick in, because Jason Tatum, let's face it, now Brown, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Brown. The baddest dude I think ever walk right now. But Jason Tatum, being light skinned, let them bumps and bruises add up. All it takes, talk to me game 48. Watch me see a much more methodic Jason Tatum, much more, let me say the hell out of the inside. Detroit, them guys coming in here, they're not playing fair because nobody does play fair. When you're an elite player, everyone else plays dirty. Because how else can I guard you? He's that good. Both of those guys are that good. So I expect them, they're doing exactly what you expected to do coming off of what happened last year. Now, the irony is look at the winners of last year. Fighting for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because they have nothing to prove.
See, you're being so disrespectful right now. I'm gonna see you after the show. You being
Am
so
I being disrespectful?
Yeah, like it's high school. He said he gonna see you after the show, like he's your
I don't
bully.
think that was disrespectful. I was being as honest as possible.
no.
You talking about Boston? You know he can't take it.
That's. Oh, I would get in your ass in a second right there.
Pause.
Damn.
He said it hard too. I'm gonna get in your ass in a
all
second.
of a sudden, Frank don't care about editing. I'm gonna bust your ass. I'm gonna bust your ass.
Oh, we got all these people watching this. Oh, now you gotta watch them out. Oh, I'm gonna dig in your ass. Like, well,
Mike,
I'm gonna penetrate you. I'm gonna penetrate you. I'm throwing a flag on the play. It's not yellow, but I'm throwing a flag. I'm throwing 15 yards, personal foul. Verbal intimidation.
Yeah, that's sodomy blue right there. That color is sodomy blue.
Mike, what's your take on the Boston Celtics right now? Like I said, man, the best shooting team in the league, best team in the league, best shooting percentage overall in the league. You know what I mean? They got it together. They're playing the Miami Heat tonight. What's your take on the Boston Celtics?
I have a sponsor. This critique of the Boston Celtics is brought to you by Plenty of Fish in the Sea. Also by Tender.
Tender.
And Christian Mingle for my religious types. I hate to say this because I dislike Boston as much as anybody dislikes Boston who's not from Boston. I think Jason Tatum could be the MVP of the league. I think he could win that. I think it'd be them and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I find it hard to believe that the Celtics, with their experience last year in the finals, are going to be beat. So if you ask me who's going to win the championship, this is Celtics. Anyway, Plenty of Fish in the Sea. Yeah.
What's going
Y'all
on?
don't, to be honest with you, I hate to say this, I don't see a weakness on this team. I don't see a weakness. They got 3-point shooting. They got defenders. They got rim protection. They have experience. They've been through the grind. They've been through the heartbreak. I don't see them losing, and I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be fully healthy this season ever. I don't think they're ever going to be fully healthy. A fully healthy Bucks team, I think, could win. I don't think with Drew Holiday's lingering injuries and Middleton always getting nicked up, I think this is Boston's year, but I'm rooting with all my vigor and might against them.
I appreciate you being honest. I appreciate that. Let's talk about the NFL now, man. I saw something this morning. Again, you know me, been doing my research, man. I thought about this. I was like, you know what? Let me ask the fellas what they're going to think about this. Speaking of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers, we all know, is in a situation, obviously playing with Green Bay and everything else. But somebody brought up something, and I saw an article this morning, I think it was Bleacher Report, where Aaron Rodgers could leave, has a great chance of leaving, and could land on the Seattle Seahawks because Geno Smith got a 1-year deal, and he's going to probably take a lot of money. And he obviously Seattle's not going to give him a lot of money, so Geno Smith would be out, and Aaron Rodgers could possibly land there because they potentially could want to put up a lot of money and take over his contract. Because we all know how Pete Carroll is. Defense is getting it together and everything else. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is a real possibility for the Seahawks? And if so, do you like the fit? T.
I don't see it. I don't see it. But when you look at numbers and you look at what they seem to be willing and not willing to pay, then that's why Russell's, you don't want to come out of pocket, a couple of $100 million like that. So if that's the case, I just seen the numbers for the next 4 or 5 years for Aaron is 40, 50.
He makes 60 next year. He makes $60 million next year.
You see what I'm saying? And this is just the next 5. He ain't nothing under 50 million for the next 5 years. I can't see it, because if that was the case and they wasn't worried about numbers, they would have gave it to Russell. He's proof in the pudding for them. You know what I mean? You know what you got there. You plug things around them. You won before, you can win again. That would be the thought process. But now you're saying, I think I take a more grateful Geno Smith and pay him, because here's the thing. How many times are you going to ever be in a position where the player is much as grateful as the team?
What?
This is the case of Geno right now. This is perfect timing for an organization. This guy literally needed a resurrection, and it came slowly into fruition. And now everybody's talking about he looks good. You forgetting about old Geno. He's gelled with the team. They're playing for him. Right now, your best negotiation is going to be with a Geno Smith, because he's as happy to be there and be your savior as you are his savior.
Yeah, but T, here's the problem that I'm going to throw out there. I think Geno Smith is going to finally chase after that check, because he's going to get a huge offer this offseason. I don't think Seattle's going to give it to him. But
I don't think so. I think it's going to be huge for Geno. I don't think it's going to be huge in the grand scheme of things. It's not going to be a Watson check. It's not going to be a Jackson check. It's not going to be an Aaron Rodgers check. It's not going to be. Look at all these young quarterbacks we watched get paid last 2 years. It ain't going to be that kind of check. It's going to be big for Geno, though.
Bro, if Geno lands on Tennessee, or Geno goes to Carolina Panthers and everything, and who they have money and everything else like that, Geno's gonna chase a check. Pete Carroll ain't giving it to him. So
I will bet right now. I will put money up. Geno does not command 200.
No, of course, no, not even close.
That's a big check. This is what I'm talking. You're talking about bringing 200 million with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but I'm not saying no. What I'm saying with Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers would probably land there and everything else. But if he did go there, he obviously would make some changes to his contract, because he wants to win a Super Bowl. He's saying he wants to ride the sunset to Super Bowl. So I'm assuming that he obviously going to make a change with his contract, because I don't think any NFL team in the league is going to pick up, except for Green Bay. I don't think it's now the other 31 teams in the league are going to say we're going to take Aaron Rodgers in his deal.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not going to jump us too hard to get rid of him. Here's the thing, man. Riding to the sunset. You're playing in Green Bay. You ain't seen the sun in years.
Which is the reason why he wants to win. He want to win. That's why I'm thinking people forget Aaron Rodgers has one Super Bowl. One. That's it. One.
Dan Marino has none. It don't matter. You can want all you want, but the numbers don't lie. They're not going to do a $200 million thing.
T, not disputing with you. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers' thought process. I'm thinking he wants to get traded to a team.
Right.
Is that team going to be the Seahawks, Mike, where he thinks he's going to restructure his deal? Is that Seahawks going to be the team where he restructures his deal and lands where he has a chance to win a Super Bowl?
The Seahawks don't have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Like, where did you get the Seahawks from? They're coming down.
I didn't get it. I'm saying with the Irish red.
They're wilding. He's not going to Seattle. They're coming down to earth as we speak. They're a good team. They're a nice team. They may make the playoffs. They're a level above the Giants.
If it was me, in my opinion, I don't think the Seahawks has it at all. I don't think they have a chance. But Bleacher Report says they think he has. I think if Aaron Rodgers leaves, he's going to Tennessee Titans, number one, the Colts, or maybe another team, maybe the Jets. That's why I don't think he's going to Seahawks.
He's not going anywhere, because Aaron Rodgers is a smart man and he's watching these young receivers.
Okay.
He's got 2 studs that he was complaining about, but he now sees what Watson and Lazard, both 6'5", 24, 25-year-olds at 220 pounds. You saw Chris Watson against the Eagles, even in a loss, the speed that man has. Aaron Rodgers, he's going to stay put, collect $60 million. They're going to shore up the defense. And next year, after all the laughter, because everybody who hates Aaron Rodgers is laughing right now. They all are appreciating the struggles that he's going through. Next year, they'll be back to winning 12 to 13 games, and they'll make a run. There's no need to move anywhere. And the best thing for Aaron Rodgers is nobody has the balls to stand up to him in that organization. So he has them the way he wants them. Once you move to another team, you got a whole different atmosphere.
Did you just juggle testicles?
I did. And I want to apologize to our viewers.
Flag on the play. Flag. There you go. There you go.
Right.
All right.
Got him like this. Dog, that was this. Hold on. Let me finish this. I have to make this apology. I'm so sorry. Listen, 15 yards.
Yo, that was hilarious.
I juggled them.
All right, for the record, I think Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, Dave, is going to a team that has a running game and wide receivers. That's what I think he's going to do. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Dave, I don't know what your thoughts are. T disagrees with me. Mike disagrees with me. They both think he's going to stay. For the record, where do you think he's going to happen? Do you think he stays or goes, and where do you think he's going?
Can we just talk about how problematic Aaron Rodgers is? Can we just have that conversation? Can we also talk about the fact that Michael Sean so eloquently said, he took all the money. He took all the money. He took all the when you think about it, it's off kilter. Like one's right down here, one's way up here. He took all the money. Like, so the reason he don't have no wide receivers and now might be looking for another team, according to does he have the ones that are necessary to get the job done?
Yeah, he does.
I don't think he's going to go. I think he's going to stay right the hell there because I don't think anybody wants to put up with more Aaron Rodgers shenanigans. Just in the past 2 seasons, we've had to deal with, I've been inoculated, and I think it's everybody's personal choice to, I may have misspoken, misled people to the fact that, he didn't want to come to practice. He was basically white Allen Iverson circa 1998. And I don't think anybody else wants to deal with that. Talented guy, Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's on the Mount Rushmore quarterbacks, but he's damn talented. And the saddest day of Aaron Rodgers' life is when Tom Brady said he was coming out of retirement because he just knew that this was going to be his year. And guess what? Jury's still out on that. So
I'm not disagreeing with because he's making great points, but the NFL are a bunch of whores, and they will sign you when you got 35,000 allegations of rubbing vaginas involuntarily, and they give you $250 million guaranteed. These cats don't give a damn about the distractions. They don't care.
Hey, Dave, I know you came late to the show, Dave. Check it out.
Is that Super Bowl 3? That's Super Bowl 3?
Yeah,
that's clean. That's clean, talent. I thought it was It's Just Comedy. I thought that was It's Jets Comedy.
No,
I realized that's authentic. That is some merch.
Yeah, listen, time is moving. Let me keep it going.
You're a hater, son.
It was Super Bowl 3. They had a high school band as the halftime show.
I'm a hater. Let me keep it moving. See, where will Jacoby Brissett land? Because if people are not talking about Jacoby Brissett, has also got a spot that he's gonna have to go somewhere. Right now, he's going to get a lot of offers, too, because obviously Deshaun Watson is back and everything else. Jacoby Brissett could be the dude to go to a couple of other things. We've been talking about it on and off for a little while. Bleacher Report said this morning they think Jacoby Brissett could land literally at the Panthers, and then they named the Bucks because Tom Brady's going to be a free agent, and they think Tom Brady's leaving the Bucks. So a couple of thoughts also out there about where Jacoby Brissett could land and change a lot of franchises around. Where do you think he's going to land?
Well, here's the thing. Panthers is not far-fetched. If he don't mind, coming over here, we'll take him at the Jets because I have a funny feeling we lose 2 quarterbacks in the offseason. We're going to be searching for a backup anyway.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think, bro, you can't have good without the bad. Like, there's always the yin and the yang. And I think this Mike White thing is the beginning of something great and bad at the same time. First of all, you already know Flacco is about to be,
Yeah.
And then you got the other young boy that I think the locker room and the team gonna turn him off, man. I think they made their mind up. If this guy Mike White's the real deal, we know he's good on the field. If he's the real deal off the field, and they really respect and like this kind of locker room, they're not going to keep Zach around. That's not going to happen. But I can see him definitely at the Panthers. The Bucks, I don't really believe Brady going to a third team. I can't see that. He got so much power there. He got a great deal. He can come and go when he wants. And we just finished talking about this with Gino and Aaron Rodgers. It's something to be said for power, man, and being able to run amok and do what you do. And the older you get in any genre of sports or whatever you do for a living, the older you get, the less tolerable you become.
Mm-hmm.
So you need things to work in your favor. You need a little, for lack of a better term, you need people to kiss your ass when you get older.
Yeah.
Why do you think we go to our grandparents? So you need anything? Open this way? Because they need that.
See, Mike, Sean, a lot of people are forgetting too that Tom Brady is going to turn 46 this year. But a lot of people are forgetting that he's a free agent, so he could literally mess up some stuff too. But where would Jacoby Brissett land? Because where he's going to go, he wants to go to a contending. I mean, we all think that too. But where do you think he's going to go?
In the hell is Jacoby Brissett? Doug, this man is the epitome of average.
Oh my God.
He is the epitome. Do you know he has 12 touchdowns and 6 interceptions? Dog, he is the epitome of average.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why we're talking about this dude. He's a backup.
Because he looks like my son. Mike, have you seen him?
He does look like Talent Jr.
He does. He looks like he could be my son.
That is a resemblance. There is a resemblance. There is a resemblance. I'm going to
you better check the blood.
Yo, Talent. Yeah, Talent. You just never know. Like when my kids were born, I tested my DNA simply because I know Talent had performed in Jersey. Just in case.
Yo.
I say because my girl watches a lot of comedy. I'm like, let me tell you, let me find out. It's just not my baby. No, Jacoby Brissett is going to wind up wherever he can get a contract at. He's no official starter that runs you to the playoffs. He's a great backup. Whenever he's been in position where he was exposed to playing a full season, he showed up as average as possible. He's an average quarterback wherever he winds up, wherever he lands, where it be Penn's Landing or wherever. It's going to be wherever they give him a contract at. That he doesn't get to pick and choose that he goes to a contender because you're not starting for a contender.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
Sorry, Jacoby.
Man, Dave, the business bully, talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I feel so bad, like, for what Mike Shaw just said. He sounded like Keke Palmer when they asked her who Dick Cheney was. She's like, who is this man? I'm sorry, I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. On top of that, the dude do look like Talent needs to be on Maury Povich. Like not now, but right now. The other part of this is you're acting like Jacoby Brissett could not be a franchise player. I think the problem is not the player, gentlemen. I think the problem is the league. I feel like the league is not appreciating him, so he needs to go one of two places. He can either go to the XFL, where average makes you great, or where he might get a starting thing, and we can stop going who. You know what I'm saying? He'll be the most famous guy to XFL since He Hate Me. And then on top of that, if we don't go there, he can always. Right now, I have it on good authority. Just came in over the wire before I came on the show today. That Bishop Sycamore is actively searching for a brand new quarterback.
He brought
There you go with it. All right, so T, last question. Looks like it's gonna be last question of the show. Stephen A. Smith gets on First Take, right?
Oh my God!
And he picked all these teams ahead of the Eagles. I can't hear you, T. He picked all these teams ahead of the Eagles. You ready for this, T? He picked the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins, all ahead of the 10-1 Eagles. Talent.
Okay.
So,
No, I didn't want you to hear me.
Oh, okay. See, you hear what I said?
What?
You hear what I said?
Say it again.
Stephen A. Smith gets on this morning on
I
First
think
Take.
I've seen this too. Go ahead.
He picked the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins, all ahead of the 10-1 Eagles. I was like, dude, I don't know what your thoughts are on the Eagles, but the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins, to me, are not all better than the 10-1 Eagles. Do you think this dude is losing his damn mind? What's your take?
Well, first of all, putting the Cowboys in there, you get smacked across the tulips because of that. No disrespect to my man because Dave's in the building, but I'm the only guy on this show that's been telling you that the Eagles are starting to unravel and show normality. With even the games that they squeak 1 or 2 out, and the game was closer than it should be to the one loss and everything like that. But my thing is like when you start off the Superman of the league, people all look for those kryptonite moments where there's chink in the armor. I think that they smell blood in the water in the league, and a lot of people are thinking that they're going to go less than over the next few weeks, and they're going to be right there with everybody else in the mix record-wise. So they're not putting them as a super team no more. They've seen chinks in the armor. They've tasted kryptonite here and there, and people are losing their faith. So I see where he's coming from. But Stephen A. with this Cowboy thing, I don't know what's going on. The Cowboys got probably the most approved still in the NFC. Are you crazy? They're still inconsistent. They still look great, mediocre. Cowboys wouldn't surprise me if they got 2 ties with the rest of the game.
Listen, I don't know what he was thinking, but Mike, I can see why he would pick the Chiefs. I don't understand why he picked the 49ers or the Cowboys or the Dolphins.
You wouldn't understand. Let me say something. I don't watch Stephen A. Smith anymore. I don't F with him. He's absolutely right. The Eagles barely beat the Cowboys with a backup quarterback in there. Mm-hmm. The Eagles can't stop the run. They got Todd, they got Pullard, and they got Ezekiel. Listen, the 49ers will come to Philly and run the ball down their throats the entire game.
Okay.
And they have passing, and they have receivers, and they have a defense that can't nobody touch. They have a defense now that has decided you can't score in the second half. That's how vicious their defense is.
Okay.
The Eagles can't score with the Dolphins.
Okay.
They can't run up and down with the Dolphins.
Okay.
And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I hate to say it, the man is right. Now, I think the Eagles can beat the Cowboys. But I think if I had to put them in there right now, I would have taken the Cowboys out, and I'd have put the Eagles in. But I think the Cowboys can beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
Okay.
I think the Eagles will lose their first home game because they'll get a bye. They'll lose their first home game because San Francisco is going to come up there and beat them like 24-13.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with your take, but I understand. He's making sense. Now let me ask the Eagles fan what his thoughts are. Do you think the Chiefs, the 49ers, Cowboys, and the Dolphins are all better than the Eagles? And the answer is...
I'm sorry. You want me to talk about what Stephen A. Smith said?
No, just the thought that because people like Mike, believe it or not, people like Mike agreed. I saw it on Twitter and everything else. People like Mike agreed with him. I don't see it, but
sorry, we're still top 2 team in the league, point blank and period. Whether a win is a win now, and this is the problem with people who are losing. They try to put all these magical metrics in place, all these brass rings. Oh well, they just squeak by. They just eke by. We won. We won. We didn't cheat to win. We didn't deflate no balls like Tom Brady and the Patriots used to do. We won the game. On top of that, I am not.
Oh, did you say balls? Hold up.
No. See, there you go juggling again. See, somebody to. Hey, Mike, I need you to blow into this right now. Just blow into this. Let's make sure we're playing.
Oh, right. No. I'm 30 days sober. Give me my coin.
Let's go. So here's the thing. This is the same guy who said, us don't like what's happening to Jerry Jones right now. Of course he's going to put the Cowboys in there. He's so busy. Like he's up in Jerry Jones's ass like Preparation H. And quite frankly, the only thing that Stephen A. Smith has going in any possible direction is his hairline. Ooh. And even that's going the wrong way. I have nothing for this tap dancing Uncle Tom Sambo ass coon named Stephen A. Smith in his opinion. The Eagles are phenomenal. We got some things we need to work on, absolutely. But San Francisco is not going to beat us 24-13 if they beat us at all. But, again, y'all didn't believe the Eagles were going to do what they did at 10-1. So, yeah.
We'll see about all this.
I understand what Dave's saying. Like Dave has totally good points. When your team is 10-1, it's hard to argue about their deficiencies. The problem is when you got Michael Parsons over there, Jalen Hurts ain't going to be able to run the ball the way he ran against the Green Bay Packers. He ain't going to be able to run the same play over and over and over and over again. And I hate the Cowboys. When that game comes, that's the only time I'm an Eagle fan is when they play the Cowboys.
I got to just say this. Jalen Hurts is special. Like,
thank you. Will you talk to them?
Yeah,
will you talk to them? How about a great? Okay.
That dude is special. Like, and he's only in his 3rd year. That kid is like the Philadelphia Eagles. They got something special going on over there. And I hate the Eagles, but I gotta at least see what I see. You know what I mean? Like that. To me, it's crystal clear. Like this kid is special. He could run the ball. He could throw the ball. He makes excellent decisions. I don't know. We'll see. I don't see the Eagles not in the Super Bowl. The only people.
Just make sure when somebody.
Hold on, let me just say this. The only team I see that could trip them up is the 49ers, but I don't see the Eagles not in the Super Bowl. So that's just my last one.
The Eagles will lose this weekend to the Titans.
Oh, they will lose this weekend.
They will lose this weekend to the Titans. I'm going to give you 3 short picks. Use them how you want to use them. Make the money, people. The Chargers will beat the Raiders. The Seahawks will beat the Rams.
Yes.
And the Lions will definitely beat the hell out of the Jaguars. Remember, those are 3 short picks. But I'm telling you, the Titans, who are the underdogs by 7 points, I told you to look out for this 3 weeks ago. And here we are.
Dude, bro, you ain't seen the Titans play. The Titans can barely stop a nosebleed.
I ain't see the Titans play.
They could barely stop a nosebleed. Like I don't see that at all. I think the Titans are going to get run all over. I think the Titans will lose by at least 14.
Okay. So you didn't watch the last couple of Eagle games, huh?
Huh?
You didn't watch the last couple of Eagle games?
I did.
With
the problem is with the Eagles, they had the same issue that the Patriots had a lot of time. They is winning so much and so good. They're bored. They didn't. That is not.
You can't put that. You can't put that type of mentality. You can't put that mentality on a team that hasn't won anything. This core Eagle team has won nothing. They can't be bored. Jalen Hurts is playing for a contract. He's not bored.
Playing for a contract.
Yeah,
at this point,
this is why I love this show, because everybody has their own disagreements.
He's playing for a contract. This is the end of his rookie contract. They got to decide what they're going to do.
And he's going to back up the Brinks truck. Look how he's put 10-1 is the only argument we need to make here.
Not if you lose the first game of the playoffs.
How nasty are the Green Bay Packers? They're in disarray as a team altogether. Horrible record. You barely beat them the other night.
All right, y'all. We got to get ready
to score 40 points to beat the Packers. Like, I'm not saying they
Come on, bro.
They had to score 40. Did we beat them? Like, you gave up 10 years from now when we look at that game and say it was a win.
You gave up 33.
Hey, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro. We can argue.
Follow me at whoopingthese2dudesass.com.
Mike, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Yo, follow me at Mike Sean Comedy.
He's gonna be in Boston this weekend, y'all.
And he's gonna be in Boston this weekend doing his thing with Smokey Suarez. So that's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be a whole bunch of Patriots, and they're gonna have a long off season. But
I hope he wears that jersey. Please wear that jersey.
Please wear that jersey.
Oh, please wear that jersey.
Yo, can I say one thing before I go? The game before that, the Eagles and the Colts, 17-16.
Still a win. A win is a win.
Okay, Dave, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Yeah, if you are performing ahead of talent, make sure you get the It's Just Talent prophylactic pack available right now wherever fine comedy is taking place, because talent will impregnate your girl when you're not looking. It's a couple of green bottles.
Everybody.
That's it. Listen, Jacoby, he gonna call Jacoby. That's why he had his whole damn thing on me. Follow me at The Business Bully on all social media platforms.
No, let me tell you, I brought that up because on Twitter somebody did the split screen. And you know what's embarrassing? We do a sports show every day, and I had no idea who this dude was. And I'm like, what? So I get on my Google. I'm like, yo. Now every week I'm watching my son.
You calling chicks in Cleveland? Hey, hey, you remember 1996?
Actually, he called chicks in the Patriots because he got drafted by here first. So he got we called. What was I in Boston? Oh yeah, I was in Boston.
Remember that teabag incident in 1998?
Yeah. The irony is that Frank said he's going to decide he wants to go to contender. We just named like 5 teams he's been on.
Yeah, and when he was with the Patriots, he did very well. When he was with the Colts, he did well. When he was with the Browns, he did okay. Because now he has a losing record with the Browns.
Why did he stick? Why did he stay with those teams? Why didn't he stay with them?
He's like Sam Jackson. I used to be a coaster. I used to be a temptation. I used to be an all-star.
Yo, we gotta get ready to get up out of here because I don't feel like arguing with these Negroes. The show's called Box Seats. We on 3 times a day. We on at 1, 7, and 11. These dudes are doing a great. Fig will be back tomorrow. Hope my man feels a whole lot better.
Yeah, hold up. Jacoby Brissett is gonna make an announcement on which team he's going to next year. Y'all better get to your
Talent
TVs
will
right
be
now.
here tomorrow. Mike will be here. I don't know about Dave, but Dave's on the show.
here.
Roddenberry will be back. Y'all are watching the show. It's called Box Seats. We do what we do. As you can see, it gets crazy, especially at the end of the show all the time. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we got to do our NFL picks because the Patriots play the Bills to kick off the week and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about all that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. Take care.
We got a flag.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Hit the button.
I don't.
Again, we're just not going to hit the button.
I hit.